What's going on? It's Astronaut H, and this is the What More Do You Want Network. Now, in this video, I will be discussing the game this evening between the Chicago Bulls and Miami Heat. Play in for the 8th spot. This is the post game. Let's get right into it. A lot to be said about this game, so I'm not even going to waste any beginning moments. The Bulls, I knew coming into this game definitely was going to be a tough out against the Miami Heat. We knew what to expect from, like I said, a guy like Jimmy Butler in this particular moment. So Billy Donovan elected to stay with his same five. And, I wasn't, I didn't feel no way about that. I'm like, the Bulls have just as much as a chance as the Miami Heat in this particular basketball game. Let's see if they get it done. Now, the Bulls do turn over the basketball to start the basketball game, and I'm like, okay, maybe that's nerves. Maybe guys aren't, in the right headspace to start this basketball game. Your season is on the line, but they do turn the ball over. Now, granted, the Miami Heat do the same. They turn the ball over. Now, Alex Caruso did get the first bucket of the game, but you seen Matt Strus get the first bucket for Miami. Matt Strus became a problem very early for the Chicago Bulls, especially from beyond the arc. I don't know if it was the fact that the matter was matchups or the Bulls just not being in the right place defensively. But Matt Strus definitely took advantage of the defensive mishaps by the Chicago Bulls early. You did see Alex Caruso with the first 8 points the first 5 points for Chicago, and he had 8 early points. But again, Max Strus was the name that was keep being said early on in this basketball game for the Miami Heat. You've seen Zach LaVine get to the rim. Kobe White came in and made an impact from beyond the arc. But the Bulls were turning the ball over to the Miami Heat at a not a alarming rate, but at a clip where, those type of things do tend to hurt you. You seen the Heat just look more engaged early on in this basketball game, and that's something that the Chicago Bulls, it was just a statement or ring true to their season. They were always that team that, they have to gut their way back into basketball games. They found themselves down early by 12 at one point, and also, down by 9 at one point. You did see DeMar DeRozan get to the rim, but the Heat did go on a 13-2 run, and the Bulls found themselves down by 8 after the first quarter, 29-21. You did see Kevin Love get the first bucket of the second quarter, but DeMar DeRozan got the first basket for Chicago. You've seen his mid-range. Alex Caruso continued his spurt of three-point shots. The Heat did go back up by 6 at one point, and then the emergence of Vucevic, whether it was mid-range and back to the basket. Now, Alex Caruso did have 14 points in the half, but Max Strus was the one that was on fire. You seen Zach LaVine be aggressive and get into the rim, and the Bulls found themselves down by 5 at the end of the second, 49-44. After 24 minutes of basketball, it was a low-scoring affair. I didn't see either team, scoring over 100 at that point of the basketball game. It was more of clawing, two teams fighting for their season and trying to win. But again, I had more faith in what the Chicago Bulls had as far as one-on-one players able to get their own shot down the stretch. You did see Jimmy Butler with the first basket of the third, and DeMar DeRozan, this is where he came, to play in the third quarter. He started going to his mid-range game. You seen Zach LaVine start to get to the basket. Vucevic started to make an impact. Zach LaVine in transition, and the Bulls do go on a 12-2 run and tie the game at 56. The Bulls do take the lead at 60, and you see Patrick Williams come in with his mid-range. You see Drummond on the rebounds. And the second half of this game was played at a more not frenetic pace, but more of a pace of two teams that know what's on the line. At that particular moment, you looked at the third quarter, and at least I did. I looked at the third quarter and I said, Okay, the Bulls are right here. This is where they have to make their run, and they did that. In the third quarter, the Chicago Bulls scored 24 points to the Miami Heat 18. And right there, you get a chance, you get an opportunity to hold them under 20, win the third quarter, and go into the fourth. Now you have the momentum. And in the fourth quarter, I believe Billy Donovan did, his team did have the momentum. They were playing at a better pace. They were playing at their own tempo. They weren't allowing the Miami Heat to speed them up or slow them down, especially guys like Kobe White, who came in there and did what he was supposed to do. Derrick Jones Jr., Andre Drummond, but at the later stages of this basketball game, I believe it was like 3:40, 3 minutes and 40 seconds. Kobe White hits a big shot, and the Chicago Bulls are up, and I don't know what happened after that. The ceiling basically fell on the Chicago Bulls. They allowed in the quarter, they allowed 35 points, but the Miami Heat closed the game on they closed the game. It's not about the run that they went on. They just managed to close the game better than the Chicago Bulls. Now, granted, Zach LaVine didn't have one of his better shooting performances. I can't speak out enough on the performance from Kobe White, Alex Caruso, DeMar DeRozan, and guys like that. Even Nikola Vucevic didn't have one of his better performances tonight. But you have to, it has to be a collective effort at this point in the season. But your stars have to star. We know what Zach LaVine did in the game against the Raptors, but tonight it just was not enough. And the Chicago Bulls season unfortunately ends in Miami by a final score of 102-91. The Chicago Bulls season is over. They went 1-1 in the play-in tournament this season. Unfortunately, it's not the result that any Bulls fan may have wanted, but it is the reality. Not having enough, especially at this stage of the season, is going to, end your season, so to speak. But hats off to the Miami Heat. Max Strus played exceptionally well. He led all scorers tonight, along with Jimmy Butler. They both tied for 31 points. Bam Adebayo didn't do too much. He only had 8 points, but did grab 17 rebounds. Same thing for Tyler Hero with 12 points and 8 rebounds and 7 assists. Gabe Vincent didn't score barely anything from Kyle Lowry due to, I believe, his hamstring was acting up again. I don't know if he's going to be available for their first game against the Milwaukee Bucks on Sunday. Kevin Love added 9, 4 and 2 for the Chicago Bulls. Their high man was DeMar DeRozan with 26, 16 from Alex Caruso, 12 and 9 from Vucevic. I would have liked to see a whole lot more. Patrick Beverley did not score at all in this particular basketball game. 15 from Zach LaVine. That performance was so lackluster. 14 from Kobe White. Patrick Williams only had 2 points. Ayo Dosunmu did not score. Andre Drummond in limited minutes did have 6 points and 8 rebounds. Derrick Jones Jr. did not score at all for the Chicago Bulls. But like I said, hats off to the Miami Heat. Well-deserved win. They found a way to put it together, and I spoke something to this. I said this early in a preview video. I said Jimmy Butler wouldn't like nothing more than to end the Chicago Bulls season, and rightfully so, he did that. I'm definitely going to speak on what and where I think the Miami Heat versus Milwaukee Bucks series will go. That's in a later video. But again, the Chicago Bulls, to wrap up their season, that's going to be a separate video also. But I definitely I'm not going to say disappointed, but, to see your season end and you're not even get into the playoffs, it hurts. But at the same time, you look forward to, next year, hopefully Lonzo Ball will be back, at some point next year, and they continue to build. I know for a fact the team will look somewhat different than it looked this year. That's without question. That is yet to be seen. I will speak on that in a later video. But again, the Chicago Bulls do lose to the Miami Heat in the play-in matchup, and the Miami Heat go on to face the Milwaukee Bucks as the 8th seed versus the 1 seed in the first round of the NBA playoffs. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Milwaukee Bucks fans, Miami Heat fans, Chicago Bulls fans, NBA fans, or if you're just tuning into the channel for the first time, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you can know anytime a video is being uploaded to this channel. It's Astronaut H. I'll catch you guys on the next video.